Okay, so you can see we actually started designing our website. The whole idea is the basic idea is you want to start at the top. And this episode that we're going to discuss is all going to be about headers and footers. So, generally in a header, you're going to have a logo. Now, that logo might be on the left side, it might be on the right side, it might be, non existent for some people. We always recommend to actually have a logo on your website. It's actually the best idea, and it's going to reflect to the business prospects, whoever those people are, maybe your website visitors, maybe your customers, of what your business is, and it's a good way to remember them. So, in our case, we have our GOAT logo. This website is called goatcuban.com, and you could see here that this is the original brand here from Shopify. Like I said, we bought this brand from a agency client, and we're actually transferring it to the Funnelizer platform. Like I said, it's cheaper long term. Takes less fees, and it's just a better working platform for us. Okay, and so let's go ahead and start off with the logo. So you can see here we selected an image logo, and we actually have a lot of different images here. In our case, we have a little file here within the file manager, and I recommend everybody do that to create different folders within the file manager. So we might have a folder called blog, and these are going to be all the images for the blog section. This case, we have a folder for the logo, and you want to just select the logo, hit select, and you could choose to drag and drop this little window here. So I might drag it to the side and just preview how this looks. So I might want to make the logo smaller. I might want to make the logo bigger. I might even want to take a look of how it looks on mobile. So I might choose to save my changes, and I might take a look on mobile and see how it looks. Okay, so if you notice that there's like this banner that only exists on mobile, we'll talk about that in the later episode. But for now, just realize that there are different things that you could do. This video is specifically on the header and the footers. The next part of your header is you're going to want to include your menu. So for your menu, you want to include any kind of pages that matter the most to your customers. So something like a store, a contact us page, an about us, anything that really matters to your customers. So in my case, I don't think an about us page really matters that much, and this comes down to actually personal preference. You're going to hear a lot of experts say that you need something like an about us page. I just think that that's formidable in the footer, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But let's go ahead and just edit our menu here. Let's get rid of the About Us page, and let's get rid of the Contact Us page, and let's get rid of the news pages. Now, just to be aware that these pages still exist, they're just not available on the menu. So if we want to add content to the menu, we can hit Add Menu here, and let's think about what pages we want to add. In my case, we have different types of products. So let me just save changes here and head over to our store within Funnelizer, and let's hit Add Store. You could see here we have different categories, and we have different products. I want to create a menu based on the selection of the products of the categories. So we have wristwear, rings, pendants, and necklace. Let's go over to Builder here, and let's actually edit the menu and add these different categories. So let's go over here to Store, and let's make a category of wristwear. And let's go ahead and select and add that. And let's go back actually, because I think I made a mistake here. And let's just double check and make sure that the products, the category refers to the wristwear products. So in this case, it does. So let's just hit select, and there it is. We have that available. If we ever want to choose to edit, the link is available to us. So let's hit just select here, and let's add some more content. So we'll go back to store. We'll hit our categories. So we have rings category. Let's go ahead and add that. And we have another category. If we go to store, and we have pendants, and we just have one more category. If we go back to here, our store button, and we head over to our necklace. So we have necklaces, we have pendants, right? We have necklaces, we have pendants, we have rings, wristwear, and store. So let's take the necklaces and drag it over here. Let's just assume we wanted all of our links to be under one another, or maybe you want to have some sort of like a mega menu style. Well, you can actually do that. So to create a mega menu, which essentially creates a larger menu within a menu, all you have to do is hit the little plus sign, and you can choose a mega menu, right? And so you can add different concepts, or you could just take the little tab that you created and just drag and drop. So you can drag it this way or drag it that way. In my case, let's get rid of this and let's just hit save changes. And so you can see here we have all different options. We have the home, we have the store, we have necklaces, wristwear, rings, and pendants. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm actually going to make a little bit of a separation, make this a little bit cleaner. So the home button, if you click on the link, it will take you automatically back to the home, and we could actually website preview and test that, which we'll test it right now. So let's say I clicked on wristwear and I want to head back to the home page. If I click on the goat logo, it will take us back to the home page. So what we can do is we can actually get rid of our home link, right? And what we could actually get rid of is our store. But in our case, we might want to keep it. It's actually optional. We'll just keep it, and let's call it Shop All. And something that I want to do is I actually want to create all capitals. So some people might not have this feature available, but just to easily enable it, just take your mouse and go back to the menu. Made that kind of mistake right there. Let's hit Edit Menu. Or let's hit this little edit styling button, and we can choose to make all letters uppercase, as you can see right here. And I actually have that available to me. If I didn't, it would look kind of like this, but I can make them all uppercase. And I actually like the uppercase look, and you can choose what you want to do with uppercase. If you want to keep it available, remove it, your choice. Now, if you want your menu in a vertical kind of design, kind of like this, well, usually you can have that. It obviously looks ugly. Okay. So there's an option where you can have your menu on the left-hand side, and there's different ways that you can have that available, and it depends on what theme you selected. But generally, if you go over here to your header and settings, depending on what theme you'll have, there's an option that's going to say a left-handed header, and so you can actually do that and have the header as your left. And just so people can see a little preview of that, if we go over here back to funnelizerpro.com, let's go over here and head over to Funnelizer. If we head over to our pre-built templates, we can actually take a view of what a left-hand header looks like by viewing one of these themes. So if we just click view here, we could see that in a second it will actually load and it will show us the left side header. So it kind of looks like this. So if you want that kind of look for your store, just pick one of those themes that kind of look like that. So let's go back here to our store design, and let's just keep making some edits here. So I actually want to make a little section here where I want to change kind of the font. So I could actually do that by heading over here to global styling, and I can choose to add fonts, right? So I have different fonts available: the Roboto, Hammersmith, Quicksand 500, the Nocifer, Caveat, the Gloria Hallelujah, and New Rocker. I can choose to add fonts here, and there's over 1,000 fonts available, and this is why Funnelizer is so amazing, is they have so many fonts available to us here. And you would actually might want to wait like a second and scroll through them so that every preview of the funnel of the type of fonts are available to us. So like, for example, these didn't load yet. There you go. You could see them loading on the screen. If I scroll down, you could see a little bit, they're all going to load slowly. There's just so many different fonts available. And if you have a certain font in mind, you could actually perform a search, or you could just do a general upload. So let's go ahead and look through some of the fonts here, and let's just see if we like a font that we can use for our brand here. And it's a good actually understanding to have of your business, of how the website looks, so that you can select a good idea for a nice looking, website, a nice looking font case. So if we just look, I think I like a certain design of fonts here. Maybe this one is good here. Almari, let's see. Let's have it load a little bit. All right. I like Beach 9 also. Bench 9. Excuse me. Luckiest Guy is pretty good too. But I'm trying to think of how good it would look as my header. So it's actually a good idea to test one of them. So I might look through here, and maybe I like Rock Salt. Maybe that's a good idea. I might take another look through. I like Statlicious. I'm going to add Statliches or whatever that's called, and I'm also going to add Rock Salt. So you can add up to 8 fonts. Adding more fonts is considered bad practice, significantly decreases performance of the page. That's okay. We're not going to have 8 fonts on our website, so we're going to get rid of this font and maybe even this one. And let's add the rock one. So let's search rock here. Rock salt. I like that. And let's hit confirm. And you could actually choose to upload any kind of font that you want. So you have an add fonts button and upload custom fonts. And you can upload via TTF, OTF, or WOFF. Okay. Now what we're going to do is just going to refresh the page because we uploaded our fonts that we like, or we selected them rather. And once we highlight the text, we have this little kind of editor that pops up for the text, and we can choose the different features. So if maybe I want to change this to rock salt or statlicious or whatever, whatever I want to choose. In this case, I might leave this the way it is, or I might edit it. So I like the caveat one, so let's see how that looks. So we have shop ball, necklaces, wristwear, rings, and pendants. I might want to increase the font size, just like that. And I think that actually looks really, really clean. I could edit the spacing between each image. So if or each menu item rather, and I could actually make each piece a little bit smaller, a little bit larger. I can just kind of choose how I want it. So I'll just go back to edit styling. I could show even a divider piece between each link here. So in this case, I do have a divider piece. I think I like the way that looks. Let's see here. Let's save the changes. Let's take a look at how it looks on mobile. So you can see we have the hamburger menu on mobile. If we were to click it, let's go ahead and website preview on mobile. Let's just wait for that to load. Let's website preview and click, and that's how it look on mobile. So that looks clean to me. I really like the way that looks. So let's just go back here and let's head over back to website editing, and let's just refresh the page. Okay. Into desktop. There we go. So we have the menu created. Now let's head over down here to our footer. So I don't like the way this style footer is. So what I'm going to choose, I'm going to hit this add block button, right? And we actually have a benefit with Funnelizer that we have all different kinds of blocks that we have added. Okay. And so with these different blocks, what we could do is we could select a footer block. And we have, like I said, different blocks available. And I actually like the style of this one right here. So I'm going to select this footer, and I'm actually going to drag it one block below. So I'm going to put it within the footer, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this one more time. And you can see here the footer line is right here, and it's below the footer line. Now I want to get rid of this block, so I'm going to delete it. And now I have this footer available as my background footer, okay? And this footer is going to be present on all the pages unless I specifically hide it. And so I actually like the design of this footer. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do some editing. I don't want any part of this to be a different color. Let's say I want it all black, so I made it transparent there. My logo, I'm actually going to remove the text, and I'm going to add our image. In my case, my image is not actually transparent, and it's black and white. So I'm just going to type in goatcuban.com as my actual heading. So goatcuban.com, right? I'm going to leave it the way it is, just like this, in a sleek gray text, okay? And I'm going to remove any of this actual extra text. I just don't think it's needed. Some people like it. I personally have no care for it. You can keep it if you want. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to edit the heading. So I'm going to name this heading the shop. I'm going to name this heading the extras. And I'm going to name this heading other. Okay, and what I'm going to actually place here, I'm going to save my changes, and I'm going to actually edit here. So this could be actual text links, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add menus. So I'm going to get rid of this right here, and I'm going to add a widget, and you could just drag and drop a menu, right? And we can just hit add menu here, and now we can select what pages we want. So since this is our extras, we can add our news section. Right, let's hit select, and that'll be the first one. Let's add our, let's see here. We have our product collections page. We have our news pages. Let's just take a look at what different pages. We have our contact us page, right? So we have our contact us page. Let's select that. And we have our blog page, right? Or excuse me, we have our about page, right? So we have our about page, our news page, and our contact us page, right? Now what we could do is save, and what we do is we want to change the way this looks because this looks really ugly right now. So let's hit edit styling, and let's change the text color to a white, and let's actually make this a vertical type menu. So it'll be on top of each other. I don't want any kind of borders or anything like that, so I'm going to make this transparent. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to increase the font size slightly, and I'm going to change the font family. So I might change it to Roboto, and it actually looks good the way I like it. And I'm going to make them all uppercase as they were before. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit save. So that's my first section for the menu here. I'm going to delete this section here, and since I don't have anything available, I'm going to leave this section here for our social media. So I might call this follow us on social, right? And I might just add another social media section here, or I could just drag and drop this section, and I can make this smaller. So as you can see, if you guys catch the drift by now, it's really, you could do what you want, how you want. There's no real requirements to designing your website in any specific way. I've been designing my websites all different ways, since I started. So foreground color, I might make this all white, right? And I have the right to change it whenever I want. So I might make this, separate this, right? Just like that, go Cuban. And I want to make these of equal parts. So I might make this banner bigger than this one. So this one's at 22, or maybe I could even increase it. I might make it to 28. I might make this one, let's see here, let's make it smaller. Let's bring this to 28, and we could keep this one to 22 here. And we'll change the shop button. Let's go ahead and just save our changes here, and we could take our menu. Unfortunately, we can't duplicate this menu because it's really not drag and droppable. But what we can do is we can actually go down here and just add the same menu. So let's get rid of this once again, and let's hit menu here, and let's add our menu items. So we have our store, we have our different collections, right? So we have wristwear, we have our store once again, we have rings, and we have store, and we have our pendants, we have once again store, and we have our necklaces, excuse me. So we have all those available to us. And let's hit save here, save changes. And let's just edit one more time the styling. Now, as you can see in the guided project, if you checked 1.2 of the guided project, you have a detailed explanation, or not, excuse me, not a detailed explanation, but a detailed question that says, or a task to complete your built footer. So make sure you follow along with me and complete exactly what I'm doing here, since you actually have the guide with you. All right. So we're going to change once again the text to Roboto. We want things to be somewhat uniform, and we're going to change the text, the style to vertical, and we're going to remove our border here by making it transparent. And what we're going to do is make everything uppercase. So it's pretty similar now, but what we also could do is we can remove or slightly decrease the spacing and increase the font, right? And we could do this here also. So we're going to hit edit, and we could decrease the spacing slightly and increase the font slightly, right? So it could look somewhat similar, and let's hit save. So overall, this looks pretty clean. The one thing I don't like is this text here, and then it dips. So what I could do is I could actually make these significantly smaller. So these are each at 26 now. This one's at 25. This one's at 24. And there you go. So it's all even now. It's on an even kilter scale. Let's go ahead and now save our changes, and let's go ahead and view this. Okay. So let's go ahead and view our website. So we have our header that should pop up here any second now. So we have our header, and we have our footer. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here, and I'm actually going to edit where these links are. So let's go ahead and edit the styling button. So we can choose the size of the icons. I'm going to make the icons slightly larger, and I'm going to save my changes first. And then what I'm going to do is hit edit. Now you can see here there's two different options. You could share this page or you could go to page. I'm going to select go to page button, and this is where you're going to link all your social media accounts. So we have Instagram. So I'm going to click on this little icon button, right? And I want to add an Instagram, right? And I'm going to add the URL of https:/go or Instagram, right? .com/goat_Cuban or whatever the name is, right? So goat Cuban, right? And if it's like this, then, and you could do this with your Facebook, your Twitter, whatever. I'm going to hit save. And there you go. It's saved. So we're going to get rid of this copyright text here. If we wanted to, we could just take this and move it all the way down so it's all the way here. Let's get rid of this powered by text. So we have our terms of policies. We have our policies. We have our terms and conditions, We have our footer, and we have our header. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the next part of the episode, or the course rather.